My niece, Jenny Lynn, was close to her university entrance exams when she was lured into signing a 200,000 contract to become a streamer. As soon as I found out, I immediately told my sister-in-law. Ultimately, Jenny was stopped in time, successfully took her exams, and got into her dream university. But later, Jenny found out that her best friend, Chloe, had signed a contract with that same company and earned over $5 million in just 1 year. That very evening, she brought my brother, Leo, and sister-in-law, Lily, to my house, demanding I transfer all my assets into her name. "This is all your debt to me. If you hadn't interfered, I would be the rich one, not my best friend." Leo and Lily also lashed out at me. "You blocked our path to fortune." They threatened me, demanding I transfer all my assets to their daughter. When I refused, they shoved me down the stairs, and I died instantly. My own parents, wanting to protect my brother's family, gave false testimony, claiming I had simply fallen to my death. In the end, Leo and Lily seized all my assets. When I opened my eyes, I found myself alive again. I had returned to the exact moment I first discovered my niece secretly working as a streamer, right before her university entrance exams. This time, I decided to act as if I saw nothing. "Go ahead and sign that contract. Then you'll truly understand what it feels like to be sold to Myanmar and become a puppet streamer. Just sign the contract, and you'll immediately get your 200,000. I opened my eyes to see my niece, Jenny Lynn, holding her phone tightly to her ear, deep in conversation. I reached back to touch my head, not a single wound. I knew then that I had been reborn. In my previous life, after overhearing Jenny on the phone, I began to pay closer attention. That's when I discovered that instead of studying for her upcoming university exams, she was secretly streaming, whispering, "Do my big brothers want to kiss me? Don't you think my voice is sweet? Am I doing well for you?" It turned out Jenny was completely captivated by money, planning to sign a 200,000 contract to become a streamer. Jenny's parents both worked in state-owned enterprises, pouring their hearts and souls into raising her to be successful. While she wasn't the top student in her class, she consistently ranked within the top 50. Getting into a good university would have been no problem at all. But if no one stopped her now, passing the exam would be out of the question. Even taking it would be difficult. Cautiously, I picked up the contract she had carelessly tossed on the table and had someone investigate it. It turned out to be a ghost company operating overseas, using streamer recruitment as a mere front. Once signed, they would be forced to entertain clients. If they refused, the company would threaten to expose nude photos of the girls to their friends and family. Many young girls, blinded by the allure, hastily signed without knowing the horrifying truth. By the time they wished to withdraw, there was no escape. They were forced to continue obeying. In my past life, as soon as I uncovered the truth, I immediately informed my brother and sister-in-law. Fortunately, the ghost company, aiming for a facade of professionalism, had a 7-day trial period. Only after meeting their demands would a contract be officially signed and payment issued. When they discovered Jenny was still within her trial period, Leo and Lily were horrified, unable to believe their seemingly obedient daughter would stoop to such a thing. Furious, they ripped up the contract to prevent her from being further ensnared. They confiscated her phone and put her under 24/7 surveillance. Ultimately, Jenny passed the entrance exam to a top university. After starting, she remained terrified for a long time and was profoundly grateful to me. "I almost went down a terrible path, Auntie. Thank goodness you were there. Otherwise, my reputation would have been utterly ruined." Leo and Lily also breathed a huge sigh of relief. "If anything had happened to Jenny, we wouldn't have been able to live. Thank goodness you found out in time." But later, when Jenny started university, she saw her former deskmate, Chloe, driving a luxury car and living a lavish lifestyle. She asked around and learned that after she refused the contract, the company had approached Chloe instead. "Jenny Lynn, your aunt must have tricked you. She's ugly and couldn't make big money as a streamer, so she didn't want you to become rich, did she? How could you be so naive? Our company is perfectly legitimate. I earned $5 million in just 1 year and now live in a mansion. If you had signed that contract with your looks, you would have made even more than me, instead of slaving away from 9 to 5 every day, earning less in a whole year than I make in a month." Seeing her old friend's success, that very evening Jenny brought Leo and Lily to my house, demanding I transfer all my assets into her name. "My friend is right, you're just jealous of my looks and didn't want me to earn more money than you. Everything you have, you owe to me," Leo chimed in. "I completely misjudged you. I thought you genuinely cared for my daughter, but it turns out it was nothing but jealousy." I refused their outrageous demand, and they immediately shoved me down the stairs. Recalling my horrific death in the previous life, my entire body trembled. Jenny noticed my trembling and asked, "Auntie, what's wrong? Do you have a fever? Why are you shaking like this?" I nodded, playing along, and rubbed my arms. "I must have caught a cold. I feel like I'm about to get a fever. Look, you're about to take your university exams. You absolutely cannot catch anything from me. There's no time to delay. Tonight, pack your bags and go home." In my previous life, Lily had insisted my house was spacious and comfortable, suggesting Jenny stay here to study for her exams. That's when I eventually discovered her secret live streaming. In this life, I wanted nothing to do with their family anymore. Otherwise, knowing Lily's personality, if anything went wrong with Jenny's streaming, she'd undoubtedly blame me. She'd claim I was jealous of Jenny's good academic performance and that I knew about her streaming but condoned it, intentionally letting her fail her exams. In my previous life, I was all too familiar with their habit of shifting blame onto me. In this life, I refused to shoulder any of it. What an ungrateful wretch. The moment she heard I had a fever, Jenny immediately started packing her bags. "Then, Auntie, I won't stay with you anymore. It wouldn't be good at all if it affected my university exams." But I knew perfectly well she wasn't afraid of affecting her exams. She was afraid I'd infect her and compromise her streaming trial period. Even better, it took no effort to send her home. From now on, whatever happens is no longer my concern. Once Jenny was out the door, I sat up, calmly took a sip of Longjing tea, preparing to watch the grand drama unfold in my sister-in-law's household. Just as I predicted, the moment Jenny arrived home, I received a call from Lily. "Lena, why did Jenny come home in the middle of the night like this? She's your niece. Her university exams are right around the corner, and your brother and I are swamped with work. If you're not going to help at such a crucial time, when will you?" It was the same Lily. Previously, when she was busy, she'd asked me to take care of Jenny for 2 years. Yet, just because I was sick once, she'd claimed I didn't care about my niece at all, making all our relatives believe Jenny suffered countless indignities at my house. If Jenny had stayed at my house to live stream this time, and something went wrong before her university exams, I would undoubtedly be the first one blamed. Luckily, in this life, I was much quicker-witted. "I'm sorry, Lily. It's not that I don't want Jenny to stay here, but I suddenly feel chills all over. I must have caught a virus from my business trip a few days ago. I don't even know if it's the flu or COVID. If Jenny caught it, that would be disastrous, wouldn't it?" Hearing me say that, Lily visibly relaxed. "All right then, so you have a cold. I won't say much more, in case I transmit the illness over the phone. It's a waste of a night for Jenny to have to rush home like this." Before I could even respond, Lily hung up. In my previous life, when Jenny Lynn came to stay at my house before her university exams, I never had a single good night's sleep. Her mother, Lily, would call me every single day at 5 a.m., forcing me to get up and cook chicken porridge for the girl. Every morning, I had to prepare 6 dishes precisely on time. Before that, I barely managed a few quick bites before rushing home to cook and care for her precious daughter. In the evenings, I even had to prepare late-night snacks and peel fruit. After Jenny Lynn finally fell asleep, Leo and Lily would take turns calling me, grilling me about their daughter's every single move. During that period, I barely slept a full night. Consequently, my work performance plummeted. Several major clients were snatched away, leading to losses of up to $400–500 million. Now it's perfect. My niece ran straight home the moment she heard I had a fever. Finally, I could have some peace. I closed my eyes and sank into a truly deep, refreshing sleep. The next morning, I woke up full of energy, ready to meet clients and discuss business. Buoyed by my rejuvenated spirit, in less than half a month, I signed several large contracts, earning millions in commissions, more than I could count. As I lay relaxing on the sofa, happily counting my commission money, Lily called, her voice heavy with sorrow. "Lena, in the few days Jenny was at your house, did you notice anything unusual about her? You wouldn't know, but ever since she came home, I've noticed her dark circles getting darker, and her voice is getting hoarser. When I ask, she says it's from studying hard, but I see her going to bed at 10 p.m. How could she possibly be that tired?" In my heart, I knew perfectly well that she was still secretly live streaming at home. But in this life, I was absolutely determined not to interfere with that mess. I feigned ignorance and replied, "Lily, Jenny was only at my house for 3 days. You're her mother. If you don't understand your own child, how could I, her aunt, possibly understand her better than you? Lily was silent for a moment, then instructed me. Look, Jenny has always been close to you. In middle school, you even took care of her for 2 years, helping her get into a top high school. Now, with university exams approaching, you absolutely must help Leo and me keep an eye on her. Don't let her go astray at this crucial moment and ruin her studies. We're only counting on her to get into a good university and then marry into a decent family so she can make money for us. I laughed coldly to myself. She's not my daughter. Why should I dedicate myself to raising her to be successful? What benefit would that bring me? Thinking back to my previous life, I'd even supported her through university, yet she showed no gratitude. She'd accused me of blocking her path to fortune. If you love that path to quick riches so much, go ahead and pursue it. What does it have to do with me? But on the phone, there was no need to argue with Lily. I just needed to feign illness and get it over with. Lily, lately I've been so sick I can barely even work. I can hardly take care of myself, let alone your daughter. Moreover, recently I've been sick and also facing trouble at work. I'm afraid if I contact Jenny, I'll pass this bad luck onto her. After all, she's about to take her university exams. You really should pay more attention to her yourself. She is your daughter, after all. Given Lily's personality, if she had instructed me to regularly chat with her child and I hadn't, and something happened to that grown niece, she'd still blame me. So I had to withdraw completely from this whole affair. Lily initially tried to say something like, "But my daughter is your niece too." But hearing me talk about my recent bad luck, she immediately stressed. Then don't contact my daughter anymore. You're so unlucky, what if you affect her exam fortune? Afraid I wouldn't listen, she even raised her voice to warn me. Lena, listen clearly. Absolutely do not contact my daughter before her university exams, understood? Lily's expression truly changed faster than flipping a book, but this outcome was exactly what I wanted. Just forbid me from contacting Jenny? Fine, I'll obey. So, on the evening before the university entrance exam, I went out for barbecue with a client near Jenny Lynn's house. It was already 11 p.m., and yet I saw Jenny Lynn secretly sneaking out of her house and getting into a taxi. Counting the time from when I first accidentally overheard her live streaming until today, it had been exactly 7 days. It was probably the end of her trial period. The person picking her up was most likely someone from that ghost company. I quietly finished my barbecue with the client. Lily's house was just a stone's throw away, yet I had no intention of telling her a single word. Whose daughter, whose responsibility? In my previous life, I interfered in her affairs and ended up sacrificing my own life. Why on earth would I do that again? But strangely, when I woke up the next morning, I scrolled through a few family chat groups and found no special news. Could it be that my brother and sister-in-law weren't worried that their daughter hadn't even shown up for her university exams? That was truly too bizarre. Just as I was wondering, Lily started sending a flurry of messages to the group. Leo and I aren't in the city right now, and Jenny is taking her university exams without us to supervise. I'm afraid someone might contact my daughter without my consent and affect her exams. So, before Leo's and my phones are confiscated, I'm setting a rule for everyone in the group. Unless Jenny actively contacts you, no one is allowed to call her. After writing those lines, Lily tagged everyone in the group, then specifically singled me out. Especially you, Lena. It was then I realized that Leo and Lily hadn't discovered Jenny Lynn hadn't gone to take her university exams because the day before, they'd been assigned a job deep in the mountains. They hadn't originally intended to go, as their daughter's university exams were a major event, but this business trip promised a promotion for both of them if handled well. Between staying home during their daughter's university exams and their own opportunity for career advancement, they chose the latter. Initially, they tried to gauge Jenny Lynn's opinion. If she objected, they would have regretfully stayed home. But unexpectedly, Jenny Lynn fully supported them. Lily asked again and again, "Before, when your father and I said we couldn't be home when you took your university exams, you were so angry you smashed things in the house. You said all your friends had their parents by their side, so why couldn't you? Why do you agree this time?" In Jenny Lynn's mind, she was only thinking about the 200,000 yuan she could earn each month. She didn't hesitate to reply. Back then, I didn't understand. Now I'm older, I have to understand my parents. The university exam is about diligent studying. My parents' presence won't help me score 2 extra points. I believe that as long as I work hard every day, the exam will surely yield good results. These touching words moved Leo and Lily deeply. Jenny has really grown up. If you pass this exam and get into a top university, Dad and Mom will reward you with an iPhone 6. Hearing Lily say this in a voice message sent to the group, I felt utterly incredulous. Passing an exam to a top university and only being rewarded with an outdated iPhone 6. This made me recall the day Jenny Lynn first moved into my house. While unpacking her luggage, I accidentally saw a small notebook filled with words. So envious of my classmate Chloe, she uses the latest iPhone 15 and wears Louis Vuitton shoes. No wonder Ethan likes Chloe. If I were him, I'd definitely like a girl who dresses well. What's more, Chloe even bought expensive sneakers for Ethan. Ethan, just you wait. I don't just know how to study, I can also earn money. Once I sign my streamer contract and earn 200,000 yuan a month, I can buy you anything you want. What a love-struck fool. So Jenny Lynn was earning money to support a man. How utterly foolish. Such good academic performance, a future of getting into a good university, and so many more excellent boys in school. Yet, at the crucial time of her senior year, she made such a foolish and ridiculous decision. Thinking of such a brilliant young woman about to go astray, I still felt a pang of unwillingness. But recalling that in my previous life, my interference had ultimately led to Jenny Lynn killing me, no matter how soft-hearted I was, I simply couldn't help her in this life anymore. A client's call interrupted my thoughts. I had diligently pursued this client for over a year, and finally, this month, they had proactively contacted me to sign a contract. If this collaboration succeeded, I would become the sales director. The immense joy made me push all thoughts of Jenny Lynn aside. After rebirth, I maintained an indifferent attitude towards the fate of others, but I had to firmly grasp the steering wheel of my own destiny. A month later, I was promoted to sales director. At the same time, the university exam results were also released. My brother, Leo, and Lily returned from the mountains to the city and retrieved their phones, which they had surrendered earlier. Only then did they discover they couldn't contact Jenny Lynn. "Where's my daughter?" My sister-in-law, Lily, called me, unleashing a torrent of angry words. "How would I know about your daughter, my dear sister-in-law? Didn't you set a rule not to contact Jenny during her university exams? Have you forgotten? You even specifically tagged me in the group, didn't you?" I said, my voice dripping with sarcasm. Lily was furious. "I only said not to contact her during the exam, but it's been so long since then, and Jenny still hasn't sent any news. As her aunt, aren't you worried?" I feigned grievance. I really want to contact Jenny too, but Lily kept emphasizing not to call her proactively. I thought after the exam, we still had to wait for results, then her scores, then fill out applications. I didn't dare bother your family at any step. Lily was speechless. I seized the opportunity to counterattack. "Everything I did was according to your arrangements, Lily. Now Jenny is missing, and you're blaming me. Shouldn't you be asking yourself what kind of mother you are to let this happen?" Lily was stung by my words and had no idea how to respond. After all, her warning to me in the group was real. Therefore, Leo, who had initially intended to blame me, couldn't say a word. I heard him say on the phone, "You can't blame Lena. You yourself forbade her from contacting Jenny, didn't you? All right, stop talking. Call her quickly. If that doesn't work, text Jenny. If that still doesn't work, call the police immediately." This trick was brilliant. The moment he mentioned calling the police, Jenny Lynn immediately appeared. I saw her icon flashing in the chat group. "Mom and Dad, I'm fine, just too tired from the university exams. After the exams, I went traveling with friends. Don't worry, Mom and Dad, it's just that I'm spending money too fast. Can you transfer me 200,000? What kind of trip needs so much money? Come home right away. Also, the university exam results are out. Send your account and password so Mom and Dad can check them immediately." Jenny Lynn sent her account and password, but as soon as Lily logged in, she was stunned. "There are no results. How can there be no results?" My brother, Leo, questioned Jenny Lynn in the chat group. I, standing outside, eavesdropped, munching on sunflower seeds, watching the fascinating drama about to unfold, more interesting than any TV series. And yet, Jenny Lynn hadn't even taken the exam. She wasn't scared at all. On the contrary, I almost admired her ability to lie. "Mom and Dad, don't you know? No results means I did exceptionally well. To protect high-achieving candidates, results are temporarily hidden." She even found a perfect reason to ask for money. "Do you know why I need 200,000? My friends traveling are all people whose results are hidden. They are not only smart, but also from incredibly wealthy backgrounds. If I can befriend them, I can definitely marry into a rich family in the future. Mom and Dad, you've worked hard your whole lives and might not earn as much as my friends' families earn in a single month. Saying that, Jenny Lynn immediately sent a series of photos to the group. Photos of hands on the steering wheel of a Lamborghini, photos of men and women raising glasses on a yacht, all adorned in expensive luxury items. Leo and Lily were dazzled, but I only needed a glance to know those were all stock photos from the internet. How could Leo and Lily understand this? Regarding the university exam results not showing scores, he only needed to search online to find out there was indeed such a thing as protected candidate results. Connecting this with his daughter's generally good academic performance, he and Lily naturally thought Jenny had surpassed herself and become the top scorer in the university entrance exam. But even after sending a lot of money for her trip, Leo and Lily still didn't rush to act until Jenny Lynn gave another reason to ask for 200,000 yuan. Currently, I've used my achievements to step into their circle. But to truly befriend them, I can't just spend their asterisk money. I have to use my own asterisk appeal to attract them. Inviting them to meals, giving gifts, of course, it has to be done meticulously. Mom and Dad, haven't you always wanted me to get into a good university and then marry into a rich family? If I want to marry rich, how can I do that without upgrading myself? Think about it, most of this 200,000 yuan is for my self-enhancement. By the time I truly connect with those golden tortoises in the capital, the monthly pocket money I earn will also be 200,000. Then, all those women who look down on our little brother will surely be lining up to be our daughter-in-law. Looking at these messages, I was astonished that after being sold, a person could say anything to survive. But Leo and Lily were thrilled by this idea, full of enthusiasm. Jenny is right. She truly is a top university scorer. Her thoughts are so thorough. Mom, I always thought you were beautiful and would definitely marry well, but to marry rich, you truly need both qualifications and to know how to present yourself. And presenting yourself must be commensurate with your status. Lily immediately tagged Leo. Honey, transfer 200,000 right now. If it's not enough, I'll go withdraw some more this afternoon. My parents, hearing their beloved granddaughter was about to marry into a rich family, quickly expressed their excitement in the group. Jenny, our family truly has a future. Grandpa and Grandma also sent an extra 100,000 to buy some good things to upgrade yourself. When you marry into that rich family, remember to be filial to our whole family, okay? After saying that, they also tagged me, Lena. With such a capable granddaughter, as her aunt, you should also show some support, shouldn't you? Thinking of my foolish parents immediately withdrawing 100,000 like that, I was so angry I wanted to explode. I sarcastically said, "What kind of trip needs 200,000? Don't let your daughter be deceived while you're busy counting money for the deceiver." If that family had any sense, perhaps my words would have sobered them up. Instead, Lily immediately replied, "Lena, you're just jealous. My daughter has the talent to achieve high scores in exams and now socializes with the children of the rich. As for you, a sick person who can't even work, a poor and useless wretch, what right do you have to be in the same group as us? Get out right now." The next second, I was kicked out of the group. I felt I had eliminated a nuisance. Otherwise, when Leo and Lily realized they had been scammed and came back to demand money from me, I would have had to waste my breath arguing with them. By staying away from this family, I could protect my million-yuan annual salary from being bled dry by them. But I forgot that Lily and I didn't just share this small family group. We also had several other groups with different relatives. Before the large group could settle for 2 seconds, other groups were already flooded with Lily's boasting. I saw her in each group for parents with children taking university exams this year, tagging people. At Thanfong, I heard your daughter only scored enough to get into a second-tier university, not like my daughter whose results are so good they can't even be looked up yet. Do you know what can't be looked up means? It means my daughter is this year's top scorer. At Ha Deep Phi Fiu, Mr. Ha, didn't you say your daughter always ranked first in her class? How come I heard she barely scraped into a first-tier university? Stop boasting. Until the final step, no one should be quick to call their child a genius. At Noisy Old Law, I heard your daughter graduated from university but still hasn't found a job. Let me ask my daughter to help her find one. Now she's only hanging out with brilliant students who got into Tsinghua and Peking University, not only smart but also wealthy. Look at these pictures. These are summer travel photos she took with them. All luxury cars, rich families. I'm afraid you can't even pronounce their names. The stock photos that Jenny Lin had posted in the small group, Lily reposted them all in other groups. This was a large family group, including aunts, uncles, and elderly grandparents, as well as some younger cousins from distant family. Seeing the photos Lily posted, the older relatives thought they were real. Everyone came out to congratulate. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Little Jenny from this family truly has a future. Congratulations to the Leo family. When you get rich later, remember us, okay? I've always said, Leo married a good wife and has children who are both smart and good at making money like this. Surely, my daughter Yen Nhi will also have a bright future. I must pay attention and find a good wife for my son Duok Nhi too. Lily was so overjoyed that she continuously sent voice messages, giggling heartily, her eyes seemingly squinting from laughter. You all joked before that my son was only 1.5 meters tall and probably couldn't get a wife. Now, my family has a daughter marrying into a rich family. Hurry up and flatter us. It'll be easier to borrow money or cars from us later, especially you. If you marry off your daughters or get daughters-in-law later, you should get closer to my family. I'll definitely ask Jenny to introduce some good connections to you all. When they heard Lily say she would introduce their children to rich kids, the whole group immediately became lively. A series of people sent red envelopes. Lily, here's 2,000. As an elder, I congratulate Jenny on her good results. Auntie Ut sent 5,000 here. Take it first, okay? When Jenny gets married later, be sure to let me know so I can give a big red envelope. Sister Lily, I also sent 5,000. I told you, your family has good feng shui, such a well-behaved and intelligent daughter. Here, I propose that all elders in the family learn from Leo and Lily, and the younger generation learn from Jenny, her beautiful virtues. Just then, a member in the group with the nickname Truth Seeker spoke up. I say, Lily, why do those photos you're posting look exactly like photos I saw on some social media platform? Isn't your daughter using stock photos to trick you? As soon as this was said, other young members immediately added, That's right, I've seen those photos too. Those are daily life photos of a famous influencer. How did they become your daughter's photos, Lily? Is that influencer with fans in Beijing your daughter? I looked at the photos. That influencer doesn't look like your Jenny at all. Hearing these words, the older relatives in the group quickly went online to search, and indeed, it was exactly the same. Immediately, someone fumed, Can't people survive these days without bragging? Hurry up and return the 5,000 red envelope I just sent. Otherwise, I'll go to your workplace and make a scene. Anyone who takes money and doesn't return it better watch out. Lily also went online to search but still stubbornly argued, What if my daughter knows this influencer? Does anyone in your family know an influencer? If you take back the money now, don't even think about asking my daughter for favors later. The whole group immediately fell silent because it was true that the influencer came from a prominent, wealthy family in Beijing, had just graduated high school, and her exam results hadn't been announced yet. In this era of developing social media, it wasn't impossible for excellent students to connect and meet. Just when everyone didn't know how to respond, someone sent 2 videos to the group, tagging Lily. Lily, look, does the girl who is dancing and taking off her clothes in this video look like your top scorer daughter? In the video, it was clearly Jenny. The girl wore a tight-fitting camisole and shorts so short they exposed her buttocks, lips pressed tight, constantly swaying. Brother, am I swaying beautifully? Send me a rocket. Below, the livestream assistant added, Send 1 rocket, and you can take our Jenny home for 24 hours to do whatever you please. The whole group immediately exploded. Everyone tagged Lily. I don't care if your daughter knows that influencer or not, return the red envelope I just sent immediately. Even if my daughter can't find a job, she wouldn't stoop to doing this kind of work. Hurry up and return the money. You said your daughter was the top scorer, and she's doing this kind of work. Hurry up and post her report card in the group for us to see. Lily panicked but still tried to argue. How can you be sure this is my daughter? Maybe it's just someone who looks exactly like her. Someone replied, Your Jenny was born with a black birthmark on the right side of her neck. The girl in the video also has one. What a coincidence, huh? At this point, even Leo couldn't contain his shame. He jumped in and said, So what if the video shows my daughter? No matter what, she's a student whose scores are hidden in the university exam. Only candidates in the top 20 in the whole province have their scores hidden. Are your daughters that good? Someone said, didn't we tell you to take a screenshot and send it to us? Anyone can talk. If you have it, show it. Immediately, Leo sent a screenshot. See, can't look up the exam score. I took a closer look. What hidden score? This interface means either she didn't take the exam or she cheated and had her results annulled. Sure enough, immediately someone burst out laughing. Hilarious. A student whose score is hidden, even if you can't look it up, still has a small line of text below saying they made it into the provincial top tier and that results will be available after the 27th. Your interface clearly shows, didn't take the exam. Mr. Leo, I advise you to contact your daughter quickly. I'm 90% sure that girl in the video is your daughter, Jenny Lynn. Originally, I was just an outsider watching the drama unfold. The result was that after Lily watched the video, she didn't call the police or continue calling Jenny Lynn to confirm. Instead, she angrily called me immediately. As soon as I picked up, she started yelling, Lena, where did you take my daughter? You're her aunt. We weren't home, so you should have been responsible for taking care of her. This time, I couldn't keep my composure. I coldly replied, Lily, are you all right? Jenny Lynn is your daughter, not mine. You can't even manage your own child, yet you blame others. Do you have no shame? Leo also chimed in. Lena, no matter what, you're Jenny's aunt, you have an obligation. Before he could finish, I cut him off. And you, Leo, you're a father who doesn't even know if his daughter took her university exams, yet you have the nerve to lecture me. What obligation do I have to your family? My only obligation is to take care of myself. Your family's affairs have nothing to do with me. After saying that, I hung up. But the moment I did, my parents' phone rang immediately. Lena, what's wrong with you? Your sister-in-law was wrong to kick you out of the group, but she's still an elder. What's wrong with her saying a few words to you? Hurry and rejoin our small family group. The whole family must quickly help Jenny. Before I could say anything, I found myself pulled into our 5-person family group. In the group, Lily was continuously calling out Jenny Lynn's name. Jenny Lynn. Jenny Lynn, tell us quickly, is the person in the video you? Answer your mother's call. Did you not take the university exams? Didn't take them and still dared to lie that you were the top scorer? You're too bold, aren't you? Only 18 years old and already daring to lie like that. After a long while, Jenny Lynn finally replied, her voice a desperate scream for help. Mom and Dad, I didn't want this either, but I signed the contract. They said they'd pay me 200,000 yuan a month. I was blinded, thinking streaming would earn more money than studying, so I signed the contract before the university exams. Every day I stayed up late to try broadcasting. Then, when I passed the trial period, they specially sent a car to pick me up, saying they'd transfer 200,000 to me when I arrived. Who knew that once I got in the car, I found out they were taking me to northern Myanmar. The videos you saw in the group are real. Every day, if I don't live stream, I have to entertain old men. But they still say entertaining only 10 people a day is too little. They said if you transfer 500,000 yuan, they'll let me come home. Mom and Dad, I'm truly sorry. I regret not taking the university exams. I don't want to earn money this way anymore. But they said they spent a lot of money training me, and I have to pay off the debt before they let me go. Otherwise, they'll take all my organs and sell them. Mom and Dad, I shouldn't have lied to you both. I beg you both, transfer me 500,000. I know you saved this money for my younger brother to study at an international school, but please use it to save me first. Jenny Lynn, seeing herself exposed, no longer hid anything. She cried and sobbed, sending a desperate voice message begging Leo and Lily to save her. Lily was stunned, never expecting that after just half a month on a business trip before the university exams, her daughter had been lured to northern Myanmar. She didn't scold Jenny Lynn, but instead called my name. Lena, how dare you say you're not responsible? If you hadn't neglected my daughter, how would she have ended up like this? I was about to reply with, idiot, what does that have to do with me? When Jenny Lynn in the group sent a heartbreaking voice message, screaming, how dare you blame Auntie? You're my biological mother. No, that's not what a biological mother is. Since childhood, I've had to wear hand-me-downs from 7 aunts and 8 relatives, dressing like an old woman. All the boys in school called me Auntie. The boy I liked wouldn't even glance at me. I used to think if I studied hard, they would like me, but in the end, they still said I reeked of poverty. But is our family really poor? No, we're not poor. It's just that you saved money for my younger brother, but for me, you saved every penny possible. If you had treated me normally, bought me normal clothes and a phone, given me enough living expenses, would I have been jealous of my friends wearing gold and silver? I wanted to earn money only because I wanted the person I liked to like me too, and I wanted everyone to notice me. I ended up like this all because of you. Leo heard his daughter's accusations and was furious to the point of madness. We worked so hard to raise you and you look at us like that. Fine then. Anyway, you're no longer pure. You didn't even finish your university exams. You won't amount to anything if you come back here. You might as well just die in northern Myanmar. Don't torment us and your younger brother anymore. Saying that, Leo tagged Lily, telling her to kick their daughter out of the group and stop caring about her. Seeing her parents intended to abandon her and not save her, Jenny Lin didn't cry or struggle. Instead, she threatened, "All right, if you don't transfer 500,000 yuan to me, I will release these videos into both of your work groups. I know you two just completed your rural assignments and are about to be promoted. Think about it, if your colleagues see these videos of your daughter, will either of you still keep your jobs?" The videos Jenny Lin sent to this group were not the mildly revealing ones she had sent before, but increasingly unacceptable videos. Jenny Lin was the female protagonist, and the men changed constantly. Leo and Lily were both civil servants. If these videos were released into their work groups, their careers would be ruined. They were both over 40. If they lost their jobs at this age, where would they find stable employment? If both husband and wife lost their jobs, their only option would be to work as restaurant servers. Thinking of this, Leo trembled all over. He was the only male university graduate among the relatives. He would rather die than work as a server. Lily also broke out in a cold sweat, but telling her to pay 500,000 yuan was something she genuinely couldn't accept. So, she pretended to be calm and replied to Jenny Lin, "Based on you? You don't even know the numbers for my work group and your father's, and you think you can trick me. Let me tell you, this old lady isn't falling for your schemes." However, 2 minutes later, Jenny Lin replied, "Now go check your work groups and see if there's an account named Ruoryu rotting there yet." Less than a few seconds later, Lily's voice rang out in the group through a voice message, her voice sounding like she was grinding her teeth. 500,000, right? Fine, Jenny Lin, I'll transfer it to you. From now on, our mother-daughter relationship is over. Jenny Lin said nothing, just sent the account number. After Lily transferred the money, Jenny Lin disappeared for several days. But Leo and Lily kept complaining in the group every day. "That damned girl didn't just make us lose face in front of all our relatives, she also cleaned out Leo's and my entire fortune, a total of 600,000 yuan. We worked hard for decades to save that much. All this time, we saved on clothes, didn't dare to buy cosmetics, only to save money for our boy, Max, to study at an international school and make our family proud overseas in the future. Now it's all over. Forget international school, it's hard enough to gather money for him to get into a regular high school." I heard that tone and immediately knew they intended to borrow money. Not wanting to listen to Lily complain anymore, I left the group. The moment she saw me leave, she immediately called me. "Lena, you see our family's situation, don't you? Max is the heir of the Lin family. We must invest in him. Now our family is completely out of money. Max's future will be your responsibility. He's about to enter international school. The annual tuition is 300,000 yuan. 3 years of tuition plus living expenses, you immediately transfer 1 million yuan to my account." I replied, "Who is this lunatic? Get lost as far as you can." And immediately blocked the number, deleting all WeChat and QQ contacts. I thought that was the end of it. Who knew that less than half an hour later, Lily led my parents, my brother Leo, and her 1.5-meter tall son Max to my company to confront me. Lily truly was skilled. The moment she saw me, she immediately dropped her aggressive phone attitude and knelt before my colleagues. "Sister-in-law, I know I'm an outsider. If I've done anything wrong, you can blame me. But now our parents have cancer, and my beloved daughter is missing. To find her, your brother and I have spent all of our family's savings. Now, you're the only one in the family with a job. Can you really bear to watch our parents suffer from cancer without money for treatment?" Lily knelt on the ground, tears and snot streaming down her face. My parents also seemed to have thoroughly discussed this with Leo and Lily. They trembled, preparing to kneel before me. "My child, Mom and Dad know we've wronged you a lot over the years. You earned your own college tuition, and your graduate school money was also yours. But no matter what, Mom and Dad raised you for 18 years. Now Leo and Lily don't have money to treat mom and dad's illness. If you have the means, you should help mom and dad a little, shouldn't you? My father clung to my arm, my mother staggered, about to kneel. My colleagues, unable to bear the sight, rushed to help my parents. Uncle, Auntie, please sit down quickly. How can you kneel before your own daughter? Oh my God, Lena, you're an educated person, a master's graduate. How can you be so unfilial? Exactly. She looks so kind on the outside. Who would have thought she'd be so cruel to her own family? Besides, Lena is now the sales director of the company, earning millions a year. No matter how her parents treated her, what's wrong with spending a little money to treat their illness? That's right. This kind of unfilial child should be exposed so she has no place in this company. Moreover, it should be publicized to other companies so no one dares to hire someone with such poor morals. The crowd around grew, and more people took out their phones to record me. Lily, seeing so many people on her side, cried even more pitifully. I'm an outsider, I don't know what to say. If we weren't truly at our wits' end, my husband and I would never come to ask my sister-in-law for a single penny. Our parents only have one choice, to humble themselves and kneel before you. After saying that, she even took the opportunity when no one was looking to smirk triumphantly at me. I knew her intention. She was forcing me to give her money, or she would use public opinion online to ruin me. If not taking my life, then stripping me bare, making me lose my job, unable to stand firm in my industry. Especially in my business, integrity and character are crucial. Once such a thing happened, my clients would definitely all leave. Leo and Lily were confident in this point, which is why they dared to drag my parents into their act. But they didn't know that I had taken screenshots of the previous conversation where Lily declared in the group that she wouldn't save her daughter and intended to cut off their mother-daughter relationship. Furthermore, all the times she called to threaten me to give her 1 million yuan had been fully recorded by me. I had the voice recordings of my parents pleading, "Please, child, give us 500,000 yuan to save mom, or she won't survive." And also when they had called me a useless daughter, telling me to just die. I even had the message from when Lily kicked me out of the chat, saying, "Jenny, that girl has been harmed like that, and even if she comes home, she'll just be useless, good for nothing." Besides that, I also released photos of Jenny Lin being abused, her whole body covered in wounds, but I refrained from posting videos of her being humiliated. Looking directly into the camera, I said, their own daughter was humiliated and cried for help, but they ignored her, all because they wanted to save money for their son to study at an international school. Everyone, tell me, do they deserve to be called parents? Before Lily could defend herself, I immediately released the recording of her calling me, demanding 1 million yuan for Max to attend international school. Max is the heir of the Lin family, he must be well raised. Now we don't have money, but you do. In the future, Max will be your responsibility. He's about to enter international high school. Annual tuition is 300,000 yuan. 3 years of tuition and living expenses, you must immediately transfer 1 million yuan to the account. Did everyone hear clearly? Their son wants me, an aunt, to raise him. On what grounds? And these two, when they couldn't get money, forced my parents to act out a cancer scam, threatening not to care for the elderly couple otherwise. Everyone, tell me, is there any son like that? Is there any daughter-in-law like that? Netizens immediately exploded. Oh my God, what kind of parents are these? Their daughter is suffering like that, and they refuse to spend money to save her, only caring about their son. Truly the most shameless parents I've ever seen. If you don't have money, don't send your child to an aristocratic school. On what basis do you demand money from your sister-in-law? Not only do they favor boys over girls, but these two are so cruel they drag their elderly parents into their scam. Where do this couple work? They must be exposed so they lose their jobs. Let's see which school their precious son can attend then. My parents heard the situation was not good. Why are they scolding our precious son and grandson like that? Quickly, explain to the camera that everyone has misunderstood, that we came voluntarily and weren't forced. Uncle and Auntie, don't try to force it anymore. We, the netizens, know very well that you two were definitely forced. Don't worry, we won't let them achieve their goals. That's right, Uncle and Auntie. We, the netizens, will help you accuse them online. Didn't they threaten not to care for you in your old age? We'll make sure they lose their jobs. I secretly smiled in my heart. Isn't it just about slandering? If you know how to slander, I do too. Moreover, I have plenty of evidence. Forcing parents to feign cancer, otherwise threatening not to care for them in old age, that's what you call professional slander. Very quickly, Leo and Lily's workplaces were found by netizens. Netizens jointly signed a petition demanding their dismissal. With such character, they still want to serve the people. They must be fired immediately. Otherwise, we will keep writing petitions. Working with people like this, aren't you ashamed? I think this workplace should be thoroughly investigated to see if there are any other moral worms. Seeing that everything, from targeting Leo and Lily, had turned into an investigation of the entire institution's character and ethics where they worked, their workplaces immediately announced their dismissal. In their 40s, Leo and Lily were both jobless. My parents truly had no way to rely on their children for their old age anymore, as they had no pension. The money they earned when they were young was all used for Leo's education, and later, they saved up money for him to get married. Their savings had been completely depleted long ago. In my previous life, if I hadn't overlooked their favoritism towards Leo and sent them several thousand yuan for living expenses every month, how would they have had the money to live comfortably? In this life, when they heard Jenny Lin was about to marry into a rich family, they immediately gave 20,000 yuan. That money was originally sent by me to them. But in my previous life, they showed no pity when I died unjustly, giving false testimony to push me to my death. And in this life, they conspired with Leo and Lily to feign cancer, trying to make me lose my job. As for retirement money, they shouldn't even dream of getting a single penny from me. Sure enough, seeing Leo and Lily lose their jobs and their 600,000 yuan in savings entirely extorted by their daughter in northern Myanmar, my parents came to beg me again. Lena, our precious daughter, Mom and Dad were momentarily foolish, deceived by your brother and sister-in-law. You're our only daughter. If we don't love you, who do we love? From now on, Mom and Dad will live with you, clean the house, manage your home, cook meals, and wait for you to come home, making up for the years we neglected you. I laughed coldly, sitting on the sofa. In nearly 30 years, I had never felt such an urge to vomit. Want to make up for it? Is it because Leo and Lily no longer have money to support you, so now you remember me? Ha! I'm sorry, Uncle and Auntie, I don't have parents. If you want money, go find your precious son. Seeing I wouldn't support them in their old age, my father, David, grew furious. He raised his phone. If you don't take care of us, if you don't give us money, I'll post that recording online and make you lose your job? I laughed. Go ahead and post it. Even better if that video goes straight to the top of the trending searches. That way, I'll conveniently release the story of you secretly entering my room when I was 18 for everyone to know. Oh, right, I also recorded a video of it back then. Let's see who gets cursed to death then, me or you. David froze. He didn't expect me to dare expose this in front of my mother. How about it? Do you want me to show that clip to Mom? In my previous life, after I finished my university exams, he used a card to unlock my room door in the middle of the night. When he reached into my shirt, I woke up in fear. He covered my mouth, intending to rape me. I smashed his head with a new vase, stopping his next action. I wanted to tell my mother, but he said he was sleepwalking and nothing had happened. He also said that if I told my mother, it would only cause their marital relationship to crack. Do you think it was easy for your mother to give birth to you and raise you? Do you want to see her unhappy? I hesitated. He both cried and threatened. If there's a scandal in the family, don't let it spread. If you tell Mom and she makes a big deal out of it, everyone will know and just say you're the kind of girl who seduces her own father. Who would want to be friends with you then? He continuously emphasized that he was sleepwalking, even kneeling to apologize to me. In the end, I kept quiet, but I always kept the video recorded that night. At that time, I liked to use my phone to take pictures of the moonlight outside the window. I never expected that the last thing recorded would be the dirty deeds that David had done to me. Now I understood completely. The one who deserved to be condemned was him. I was just a victim haunted by the shadow of abuse for over 10 years. Do you have anything else to say, David? If not, get out. I ordered him away. David immediately turned and walked away, but my mother, Daisy, stood still. A moment later, I heard her say, "You Lin family scumbag, you raped me that year and I let it go. But I never imagined an animal like you would try to do such depraved things to your own daughter. Why don't you just die?" After saying that, she grabbed the long knife she had just used to cut watermelon on the table and lunged straight at David. My father heard my mother's call and subconsciously turned his head. The knife precisely severed his carotid artery. Blood spurted out like a fountain. David's eyes widened. He clutched his neck with both hands and slowly fell. At that moment, I didn't know whether to be horrified because my mother had killed David, or more horrified to know that my mother had been abused by him but ended up having to marry him. Before I could fully recover, I heard Lily's voice echoing from the door. "Lena, now Leo and I have lost our jobs and our savings are gone. Let me tell you, from now on, my whole family will live at your house." As she stepped in, she immediately shrieked, "Dad, Dad, what happened?" She looked at the blood splattered on the floor, then at the knife in my mother's hand, then pointed straight at me and said, "Excellent, Lena. Your parents came to ask you for money, you didn't give it, and you even hacked your own father, didn't you? If your mother hadn't been pulled away, you would have hacked her too, wouldn't you?" My brother, Leo, rushed forward, pulling my mother, Daisy, who was now dazed, to one side. He asked her, "Mom, tell me the truth, did Lena kill Dad? If she did, we'll immediately call the police and have her arrested. If Dad dies, she'll be a murderer and go to jail. Then all the assets will belong to us." My mother, Daisy, glanced at me, then finally pointed at me and said, "Yes, it was her. She held the knife and hacked your father. If I hadn't wrestled the knife away, I would probably be dead too." After saying that, she burst into sobs. Lily immediately called the police, scolding as she called, "I knew it was a scumbag like you who did it. I'll send you to jail." Any sympathy I had just felt for my mother vanished. Clearly, she was the murderer, but in the end, so Leo could get my assets, she pinned the murder on me. I ignored Lily calling the police because my house was full of surveillance cameras. The police quickly identified the culprit as my mother, Daisy. However, David miraculously survived. Yet after waking up, sometimes his eyes could still move, but his body was completely paralyzed. During the interrogation, my brother, Leo, learned about David's crimes against Daisy. He refused to let him continue treatment, dragging him back to the countryside and locking him in a pigsty, feeding him only pig slop every day. "You scumbag, do you know? Now everyone curses me as the son of a rapist, curses your grandchild as the grandchild of a rapist. No one wants to look at us anymore, do you know?" David's mouth was stuffed with food, tears silently falling. He wanted to resist, but now could only endure. "You are the fish, and your son is the chopping board." He was living worse than pigs and dogs. Not long after, Jenny Lin was rescued by Chinese police and returned. When she was brought back, she had lost one kidney and only had one arm, one leg, one eye, and one ear left. According to investigators in northern Myanmar, people were destroyed to this extent for entertainment in sick parties. Since then, in the old Lin family home, the pigsty became David's resting place, a man who only ate pig slop. And the warehouse became Jenny Lin's place, no longer looking human, not even a ghost. Everyone avoided them, not daring to come close. Finally, my sister-in-law, Lily, couldn't bear it anymore and decided to secretly take her son, Max, and flee. No matter how difficult life would be, she couldn't abandon her child. But while escaping, she was discovered by Leo. Now Leo, bearing the reputation of being the son of a rapist, couldn't find a job. No company dared to hire him, even as a security guard, fearing he might have criminal tendencies. The man who was once an excellent student had now fallen, drunken every day. When he got angry, he would go into the pigsty and stuff bits of food into David's mouth or slap Jenny Lin a few times. This kind of life, for Jenny Lin, whether in northern Myanmar or living here, was no different, except she wasn't starving to death. Fortunately, he still had his son, Max, as a comfort. After drinking late at night, he went to find his son to talk, coincidentally catching Lily packing luggage, intending to take Max and leave the house. He immediately understood that his wife wanted to take their son away from him. "Lily, if you want to go, go, but leave our son behind." Lily refused. "He's my child, I gave birth to him, I have to take him." Leo held Max tightly, refusing to let go. Max, only 1.5 meters tall and a mama's boy since childhood, cried and said, "I want to go with Mom, I don't want to live with these perverts." Hearing that, Leo trembled all over. He immediately grabbed a large wooden club and swung it straight at Max. "Good. Even you think I'm the son of a rapist, so I'm a pervert, right? Let me tell you, I am * a pervert, but you're no better than me." As he spoke, he brought the club down several times on Max's head, leaving him covered in blood. Lily, out of love for her son, grabbed a kitchen knife and lunged at Leo. "How dare you hit my son? I'll kill you." But how could she win against a drunken man? Leo held the wooden club and aimed directly at Lily's head, striking her repeatedly, more than 10 times. Lily fell to the ground, but he still furiously continued to hit her. If it weren't for you, constantly dreaming of promotion, so much so that you didn't even know our daughter was secretly streaming before her university exams, would we be in this situation today? It's all your fault. I ended up like this because of you. Our daughter became a monster because of you. You made mistakes, and yet you want to take our son away from me. Then just die. Max, seeing his mother beaten to a bloody pulp, choked back sobs, grabbed a fruit knife, and stabbed it straight into Leo's throat, just like David before him. Leo fell down in the exact same posture. Currently, both Leo and Lily were dead. Their son, Max, was not yet 14 years old. Therefore, after leaving the juvenile detention center, either his aunt, me, would become his guardian, or he would be sent to a welfare institution. Of course, ultimately, it still depended on my opinion. I caressed the plane ticket in my hand and smiled. I'm not even married yet. Becoming the guardian of someone else's child seems rather inappropriate. My love is reserved only for my own children. Others have nothing to do with me. The police nodded in understanding and stood up to leave. My flight to Austria was at 6:00 p.m. I still had time to meet someone, so I went to the hospital to Jenny Lin's room. Because she was rescued from Myanmar, the government was also very concerned and had her cared for in the hospital, but her time was running out. Seeing me arrive, Jenny Lin weakly opened her eyes. He's gone, and she's in jail too. I nodded. My parents are both dead too. I nodded again. Auntie, actually, since the day I was brought here, I've remembered. If in my previous life, I hadn't blamed you for stopping me from streaming out of jealousy of my deskmate, and then forced you to transfer all your assets to me as compensation, you wouldn't have died. If you hadn't died, there would be no afterlife. Without an afterlife, our family would actually still be like in the previous life. I would have passed the key university entrance exam, worked for a Fortune 500 company with an annual salary of several $100,000. Even though my parents would still favor my younger brother, at least I would have lived well. Still been able to see this world, marry, and have children normally, having my own family, instead of enduring inhumane torture like in this life. Auntie, all of this is the price I have to pay for my ingratitude and betrayal. I want to apologize. I wronged you. My parents also wronged you. My grandparents also wronged you. I know saying these things now is too late, but Max didn't harm you. Can you adopt him? I smiled. He didn't harm me, but he didn't help me either. He clearly saw you all push me down the stairs. He clearly knew our grandparents were lying, but he chose to remain silent. He's not a child who knows nothing. Silence is also complicity. How could I adopt an accomplice? Jenny Lin closed her eyes, her dry, cracked lips continuously whispering, Auntie, I truly regret it. You gave me the best life. 2 years in middle school, you taught me to pass the entrance exam to a key high school. In high school, you helped me prepare for university entrance exams. When you discovered I was going down the wrong path, you stopped me in time. I was so foolish. After saying that, tears of regret streamed from her eyes. The heart monitor emitted a piercing beep. The line on the screen quickly became flat. I stood by the bed for a very long time, ultimately still hoping that in her next life, she could be a good person. Then, I turned and left. In my previous life, I worked for over a decade without ever resting until my brother and sister-in-law killed me. I had never traveled even once. In this life, I want to pack my bags and travel to every corner of the world. Watch the sunset on the African savannas, admire the vast ice and snow of the Arctic, gaze at a world vibrant with colors, entirely different from my former life.